Hey everybody, welcome to NewWayStories, and we got a special little episode here for you. Just gonna be a quick 20-minute, but we wanted to listen. There's an issue out there that is uniquely made for NewWayStories to comment on. Yeah. It's about comedy. It's about Christian art. Mm-hmm. It's about making fun of people, and we do all of those better than everybody else. So. Yep. We get to talk about it today. Ben, why don't you give us the rundown on what is happening? Give us the hot bullet points.
So
make like Sean William Scott in The Rock and give us the rundown.
Oh, little thunder, little lightning.
Thunder, lightning, dude. Our sound guy, my friend Robbie. I shouldn't call him our sound guy, but I was trying to describe him. My friend Robbie, who runs sound at church, we were like setting up for church last Sunday, and he starts going, thunder, lightning, ears. And I was like, did we just become better friends?
Dude, a rundown reference in the wild is
crazy.
Well, wild. You know, that's a rare beast that you don't see.
Robbie
sometimes you catch a little glimmer of it, and you go, was that? No, I don't know. That's not what I heard. You like start questioning yourself.
Robbie and his wife Morgan are people that we would have been best friends with growing up. It's quite a treat.
That's awesome. Okay,
sorry, go ahead.
Ben, rundown.
Yes, so there's an artist who we've actually talked about in the pod, Forrest Frank. He is pretty big right now. Okay. There was a while where he was number one over Drake. He had a big hit song, and I think it was
number one over Drake
for like a moment. He held that title on the charts or whatever.
Now it's K-pop Demon Hunters. All of the top 20 songs on every chart are K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay,
I am loving it.
And so, 3 to 4 weeks ago, he had a serious back injury. He was riding a skateboard.
Yeah,
I don't know if you see the clip. He falls and hits his back.
He?
I mean, if you watch
he shows the clip incessantly.
Keep talking.
Yeah, so he hits his back pretty hard, fractures two parts, two little discs in his.
Keep going.
And so he's bedridden, and so it's gonna big recovery. You know, he might not be able to lift his.
He turned the bed into bread.
Yes. And so he kind of posted, "Hey, I'm gonna be out. I'm not gonna be touring. Blah blah blah." And someone was like, "How are you gonna make music?" And then just to make light of it, I mean, that's how I interpret it. He's like, "I'm gonna be in bed and I'm gonna write a song. Yeah. God's got my back."
Right.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Not hilarious, but.
Not hilarious.
But I get the concept.
Like a good turn of phrase.
Yeah,
he's working on for months.
And he did like you could be like, oh, that's like a silly thing.
It's
my back's broken. God's got my back. He does kind of reckon
So it's fun. Posts it, and then other people start kind of doing a similar thing because David Crowder breaks his leg. He's in bed. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make a song. I'm in bed. I'm going to hop on one of Forrest's songs.
You hop on the social media trends.
Yeah, and then someone else had kind of did a parody of his songs, and he's like, you know what, I'm in bed. I have time. Let's hop on that song. And so everyone's kind of doing this thing where you're in recovery for something, and then you make a song about it.
Can I pause you right there?
Absolutely.
Does he kind of, his gimmick is he writes a verse in on social media? I'm catching all of this through only videos that Ben is sending my wife. But his social media is he hears somebody takes a verse and
I think
adds to it. That was his social media.
Yeah,
gimmick.
And I don't know if that's his.
He has
but that's
a lot of different social media gimmicks. That's not it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's his, but that's something you do that artists kind of will go back and forth and let me write a verse on one thing, blah, blah, blah. And so...
but he writes, most of the vast majority of the music that he's written has not been that way. It's not been somebody wrote a chorus and I added a verse to it, or I remixed it and added a verse to it. The vast majority of the music that he's made, he's written and produced and released.
Gotcha.
But that's just your presence on social media.
But this is what he's doing. He broke his back. He's doing this now. People are sending stuff in. Mm-hmm. Cut to Cory Asbury.
Yeah, Cory Asbury. If you don't know, "Reckless Love," big song, a little controversial, and I guess that's his internet persona. That
was controversial.
Reckless love.
That's
yeah.
a whole other thing.
That's a whole other
Cory, there's
Okay.
a lot of like reform. Like there was a big move against the song because they're like, God is sovereign. He can't be reckless. This is bad theology. And everyone's singing in their church.
Oh
And
my gosh.
and
Okay.
Cory was like, okay, I just wanted to write a song about how much Jesus loves you. But now Cory doesn't make Christian music. Cory makes country music, and he's like a folk songwriter. And he's not like in the worship CCM.
Yeah, he's not
contemporary
really-
Christian music world. He makes like independent
Gotcha.
folk country
Yeah.
music.
And
he's a great songwriter.
Yeah, and so his kind of a
Sounds
couple
a bit
of
reckless.
yeah, my dad's more aware of him, and a couple people at church that I was talking about this with. That's kind of his content's a little pushing the boundaries for
on
Ledger.
social. Cory, again, we would probably really enjoy talking with Cory on social media. His stuff is very silly.
I was going to
Very,
say,
like,
he
a
kind of
lot-
sounds similar to us.
Yes.
To some circles, they'd be like, those guys are really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
And then
For us,
to
we're like,
us, we're like, this is just a good hang.
this is
that-
Friday at 9 a.m.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, well, it's pushing the boundaries if you're a Christian, like, and you grew up only listening to Christian music and you couldn't watch Pokemon. Maybe we sound a little bit like, but we're not
hear that?
edgy in any way. We're not edgy in any way.
Let me be clear. None of
Nothing
us
we
think
do.
we're edgy.
Yeah.
If you think that that's the persona that we think we're giving off, we are not. So anyway, Cory
Next week
Asbury,
we're all wearing leather jackets. We're dressed like the Fonz.
Cory Asbury writes a song
In bed,
in bed
recovery from
about his vasectomy.
yes,
Which is funny. And
It's
then he has a
hilarious.
line that
Hilarious.
says, I can't spread the gospel. Or I can still spread the gospel even though I can't spread
for my seed.
Clever.
Yeah.
That one is actually clever.
It's
Yeah.
really
That
funny.
one's funny. That one's
No,
funny.
That is like for a Christian, that's very edgy. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, I think some parts of the thing that Cory Asbury wrote, I think that they would be inappropriate for a Christian. However, there are also things that I have said many times.
Totally. I think it's a weird thing because it's on social media, but yeah, you're not going to say it on a Sunday morning and you're putting it out there for a ton of people to say. I think Kate and I
He's
have,
also not a pastor.
well, that's exactly right. And Kate and I have had this conversation about like swear words with like our kid where we're like, I don't think swear words are a sin, right? I don't think
Yeah.
if you use the F word that like God is like, ah!
That's
But
a crazy thing to believe.
but I think that there's a time and place that swear words are okay. I think out in public is not one of them. I think when people
right.
are potential people who are listening, you know, and
Yeah.
so I don't want to swear around like a kid, one, because I don't want to swear around a kid, but my future kid, I don't want to swear around him because he won't understand right away when it is appropriate and when it's inappropriate. And I think there's a weird thing on social media where you go, well, this is just me. It's my social media. And you go, well, but there's an algorithm that you can't dictate that is being thrown out
it's true.
into somebody's feed. However, okay, but this is a
I-
whole different conversation.
I think that's the conversation Forrest tried to have, but keep going.
So then he writes this song. It's funny. Forrest then writes another or does another post that he goes, I know you're just trying to be funny, but it really is hurtful for, you know, I'm not great at impressions, but I think I nailed it.
No, you nailed the essence of Forrest in that
So
post.
he says, this is like a really dark time for my wife and I. And
He didn't say that. He said, this is the most traumatic thing I've ever been through.
Most
and
traumatic
the
thing.
most traumatic thing my wife has ever been through. And he's also claiming that he got healed and he's just fine.
that's another thing, right? He broke his
So,
back. Now he's saying
how-
2 weeks later, he was
Which is-
miraculously healed.
Which is whatever, but go on.
Well,
I'll
so
come and I'll bring my opinion later.
So the point is that Cory, then there's this back and forth, and now, like the rest of the world, it is a polarizing thing where you have one side that goes, Cory Asbury is going to hell. He's a heretic. And then you have another side that you go, stop being a B word, bro, and be okay with humor.
Yeah.
And then that's where NewWayStories comes in, and we will tell you
How to feel.
how to feel.
Jesse, but Jesse, to bring you up to speed, Cory, if you don't realize,
I did
Cory
watch
has-
Cory's apology
Okay.
video.
And so now there is a out of this ridiculous drama that seemed very fabricated pre-Cory. Not that I know that it was fabricated. Not that I know that anything was true or not. But it has always seemed very convenient that all of these dramatic things are boosting all of Forrest's visibility and making people feel bad for him and pity listen to his music. And now there's a collaboration between them that's obviously going to be released as a single for them to make money, for just like to remember, for them to make a lot of money off of.
Right.
Also, this last week, unfortunately, I do get on social media sometimes, and unfortunately, my algorithm on my social media does get affected by the things that I'm interested in, even if they're things that I'm interested in because I think they're dumb. And I saw Forrest Frank say, I hate touring. I never wanted to tour to perform my music. For me, touring is an act of worship, implying that it's a massive sacrifice for him to go and tour. And I just want to remind everyone that we don't know how he feels. Maybe that's accurate. But touring is where musicians make 90% of their money.
Right.
So, in the midst of this, there's another guy. He's a Christian comedian. I've never seen him make any content that is supposed to be funny that is not geared for evangelicals ever in my life. His name is Shama. His name is Shama. It's an African name because he's from an African family. He immigrated to the U.S. He Shama for reals on the social medias. He also made a verse of Cory Asbury's song, and he has come out and is like really frustrated that Forrest can't take a joke because it's satire. And so in the midst of this, there's also that. And then at the same time with that, I'm like, I agree with Shama and with what Jesse is saying. Like, you freaking can't take a joke. You're rich. Like, you're rich off of this drama. And you can't just, if you really are offended by it, hopefully it is fabricated drama. And that's the worst.
You are benefiting from the thing that has launched you
crazy.
You know, like social media, and this is a part of social media, and I think that there's good and bad stuff to it, but I think that this is not extreme enough to count as the bad of social media.
Okay,
every time we make an ad for our church, I have to delete a dozen or more comments of people calling me a pedophile for no reason, who've never met me before.
How'd you know?
And you know what? It doesn't actually hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It's just stupid things that stupid people are saying because they're angry at themselves. No one is coming out and making a parody of a song that I made millions of dollars off of.
Right.
And I'm still not like, well.
So, okay, to kind of like, this is the thing that me and Malia, we kind of disagreed on this, and to kind of understand, I get it. Like, I believe this injury was probably real. I haven't seen any evidence that this was fabricated. I mean, if you watch that video, he hit his back hard.
It's a good skateboard
if you watch
crash.
him post quote unquote broke back, he is like sitting up and laying down. There's no cast. There's no medical equipment around. Like, what, you fracture your back and they don't give you, there's nothing? They just send you home and say, lay down and make music.
I think he does show a picture of a neck brace at one point.
Yeah,
but that's
I'm assuming that.
Hey guys, I broke my coccyx.
I think that's another.
Let's not. I don't want to veer
argument.
off. Yeah. I'm starting this off of this is a real thing, and I get it. Like, if it's a pretty serious thing, he can't make money off his livelihood. He couldn't lift his child like for a couple months. He couldn't hold his kid. Right, like he's just laying in bed.
It wasn't a couple months. He got healed 2 weeks after.
2 weeks, but like in that moment, he's like, I'm gonna be stuck here for months.
Right,
mentally.
That's what he thinks.
So,
and we know he's mentally weak.
Oh my gosh. So, but then posting it, making light of it, you kind of open the door like, hey guys, this sucks, but I'm going to have fun with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun.
You're opening the door for other people to have fun.
And so other people start having fun and you're like, no, you can't have fun. Only I can have fun. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
That's how it came across to me.
Yeah.
I agree with Cory when he says, hey, your platform invites other people to join in on this, right? Like what you're doing is inviting other people.
And also,
and obviously he wasn't trying to be malicious or attack this guy or his wife or their experience or whatever.
Yeah. Just a parody.
Obviously, yeah, it's a parody, but like, Forrest, your song, I'm saying it like he's going to watch this.
Forrest, bro.
Listen, dude,
Forrest,
I love it.
I dare you.
We play your
Make
music.
a track out of this.
We play your music at church.
And
It's
then
so fun.
Tag us.
It's a great time. Okay. You know what? The song you made, Misunderstood. Bro, you misunderstood this whole thing. He's not making fun of like you getting hurt and your wife crying. He's making fun of the absurdness of you in bed making a song.
Yeah.
Post recovery. That's the part that people are parodying. No one's trying to make fun of. Now here's another thing. If you posted a video and you were very serious about, hey guys, I just hurt my back. Please pray for me.
Don't make fun of me.
No, but like with no like fun song at the end of it.
Right.
If it was just, hey guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to be out for a bit. And then Cory then responds with a video similar to that.
I got a vasectomy.
Yeah, I got a vasectomy. Like, obviously, he's poking fun of your pain. But if you open the door of like, hey, let's have fun, I'm just making light of this, and then someone else jumps on that, that's kind of on you, dude.
Here's what I will say, is that I will always err on the side of comedy. That's like, we have said that before. That's generally my stance. This definitely does not seem like that big of a deal. There are much edgier topics that I side with comedy. I will say the issue with comedy is that it's hard because oftentimes somebody has to be the butt of the joke, right? Because that's how comedy works. And even though you may not feel like you are doing it in a malicious way or whatever, somebody could feel. And that's honestly why social media and the internet is dangerous, because you hear these random clips without like context or relationship that is built. When you go and watch a stand-up for an hour, they usually can say racier and edgier things because they have built a rapport and a relationship with you in that time.
Yeah.
Most even edgy comedians
don't come
have
out
softball
just
stuff 10 minutes in, right? They build a relationship with their audience for 10 minutes. And then when we're all comfortable, when we're all like, when the cameras aren't on, right? Just like when you hang out with your friends, you can say stuff that maybe would quote unquote get you canceled, not nefariously, not, or even just voice opinions that are unpopular. You can do that with your friends because you're in a safe space. And that's what stand-ups do for an hour at a time. But when you take that 30-second clip or whatever, or blast it onto social media, whatever. So
there's another angle, and we don't have to get into it because I'll let Darius finish because I feel like I've talked a lot already. Once again, I want to emphasize I'm not trying to diminish what you went through, but
listen, though.
Yes.
At the same time, Darius and I just had this conversation. He called me and he goes, "Just so you know, I did a wall flip and I think I broke my foot." And listen, I don't know how old he is.
It was funny,
but he's
from
married.
The get-go.
It was, yeah, exactly. He's married and he has a kid and he's skateboarding. This could happen to you.
Here's another thing. Sorry, here's super random. Sorry.
Just know that you could get injured if you're going to be skateboarding.
So, like, while we were having this conversation at church, a friend of mine whose mom recently passed away, we were talking about this, like, kind of like post-serious moment, make a joke out of it. She turns to me and goes, after we had this conversation, she goes, my husband dropped my mom. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, he was carrying her ashes and out of the car. Luckily, she was in a bag, slipped and dropped my mom. I don't know. That's just an example
I'll be honest
of like.
with you. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to feel about this because I typically don't like it when people whine about things that feel trivial especially when they've been very, very blessed. And that's a part of my heart that I genuinely know is like a hard part of my heart that I like really have to work on. Like Forrest is okay. He was always gonna be okay. I'm sure that it's sad to think that you're gonna have to lay down for a long time and you might not be able to pick up your kid for a couple months. I get it. I think people who are really privileged like Forrest need to actually understand, to be more understanding that like there are people that listen to his music because they're like severely like getting encouraged because they're severely going through severe crises in their life. Yeah. And not whining and complaining about this is a great way to give those people respect and to say, you know what? I know that like I know this is not that big of a deal. And so I don't know. That's just how I feel. The other thing that I just feel in general is I'm really like the Christian entertainment feels more and more like grifting the older I get.
I was going to say
Christian comedy is the same way. Like
we need to do a full episode on this.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, Ben and I were talking about it just briefly from a church perspective. We expect a high-powered businessman to volunteer his time on the board and give business advice.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but then you have like the comedians who I would love to play for your church on a Sunday morning. You just have to pay me $15,000. Mm-hmm. You go, whoa, okay. So yeah, let's wrap it up with this.
Sorry. Yep.
You're fine. I think that some people get their feelings hurt and that's okay. I think oftentimes you say something, and I think the majority of the time you say something and you hurt somebody's feelings, especially if you have a spouse. You're not like maliciously trying to hurt your spouse's feelings, right? But the thing that you said is much bigger than what, how you felt like. And so let's give space for old Frankie to feel that. Mm-hmm. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
But then what's his name?
Forrest
Frank. Oh, Frankie. Let me encourage you with this. Bruce Lee. Yeah. Maybe you've heard of him. One of the most influential people of the modern times. Broke his back because somebody cheap shot at him. And he was in bed and couldn't do anything. And he too turned lemons into lemonade.
Oh, nice callback.
And the only reason that we have Jeet Kune Do in book form is because he broke his back, and that's when he wrote it. And for someone in that industry, Bruce Lee is at the tippy top. Martial arts and entertainment and kung fu films, like Bruce Lee's at the tippy top, and he gets made fun of constantly. I myself make fun of Bruce Lee, and he is my hero. I was about ready to say a living legend. He's been dead for a while. He's a dead legend for a long time. I have a stand-up bit that is about Bruce Lee doing mind over matter, and he died of a brain swelling, so there's true that it's too much of a good thing if you focus on mind over matter. I love Bruce Lee, and if his family heard that, they probably would be hurt by that joke.
Sure.
But I don't interact with them.
His son wouldn't mind.
But he's my hero. He's my hero, and like out of respect, I make fun of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. I actually have been meaning to call you all week, Jesse, because I wrote a joke at your dad's expense this week.
And if you don't know, if we're just posting this, do you want to?
Because in my head, I was like,
my father has dementia.
Because in my head, I was like, I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about Scott, and I was thinking about like how sad I am about Scott. Yeah. And then I started writing a joke in my head. Now, some of us use humor as a coping mechanism too much, whatever. And I wrote a joke at your dad's expense in my head, and it's a funny joke. And it's because I love your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's the bow on this one. we're gonna wrap up with that.
I might post this weekend and see what the heck happens.
Do it, man.
I do think the drama between the two of them is fake and fabricated.
That could be.
I fully think the entire thing is fake, and that's what gets me frustrated. But the bow is
I don't think that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.